on, guys? It's Marcelo here. Today we're heading out to the shop. We'll be working on the E30. We have one video out there right now of us picking up the vehicle from Okaloosa, Florida, and bringing it back to Memphis. We've showed you that car, and then we showed you another few clips of the car at the shop. So that's pretty much where it's been. The reason why I had it at the shop is because when I bought the vehicle, the previous owner told me that he had put the transmission back together. He did a clutch job or a manual swap. He put it back together, but it had a vibration at around 2,000 RPM, or pretty much just off idle. Anyways, a day before picking up the vehicle, he called me and said, "Hey man, look, I'm not gonna lie to you. The vehicle, I just can't get the vehicle started right now." I said to him, "No problem, I'll just come check it out." So I did. I went over there, picked the vehicle up. It wasn't running. When I got it back, got into the shop, did some diagnosis, saw a few things wrong with it. That's why it wouldn't start. Replaced the crankshaft positioning sensor. That had an open circuit. Also looking at the ignition wires, two of the wires were broken. So it was pretty much just running on 4 cylinders. So at that point, I replaced some of the engine components of the crank position sensor. I replaced the ignition wires. I replaced the ignition distributor cap, distributor rotor. I think that's all I replaced. And I was able to get the engine running. It started up a little rough. Sure enough, it was vibrating off idle immediately. I messed around for a little bit, trying to figure out what it was, and I realized it wasn't a misfire. I don't think it's a misfire. It's just very consistent as to where it happens, and it just stays very. The more you accelerate, the harder it vibrates. You can feel the vibration more towards the rear of the engine, so pretty much by the firewall around that area. It was just vibrating, just a little bit of gas, and also happened in neutral. So, it's not like you vibrate as soon as you started driving. No. I know a lot of the times, the center support bearing on the drive shaft goes out, and it can cause some vibrations. But that wasn't the case. The car vibrated, the engine vibrated in neutral. So last week, I decided to pull the transmission off to inspect the clutch, flywheel, pilot bearing, and any other component in there that looked off. To pull the transmission off, I had some trouble getting it off. Pilot bearing was seized onto the transmission input shaft, so I had to put a hole at the bottom of the transmission so I could stick a socket in there inside of the bell housing, release the bolts for the pressure plate so I could pull the whole assembly off. That wasn't a lot of fun, but that's where it was at. So I just left it at that. I ended up ordering another flywheel because the flywheel that I had on there, previous owner said that because he put a stock flywheel on there and had it resurfaced. I don't know where he got it from or what the condition of the flywheel was prior to that. Opted out for a new flywheel from JB Racing. I believe it's a lightweight, 8 pounds. So I would also end up replacing the clutch and the pressure plates. He had a stage 3 clutch on there, very stiff. The car doesn't make a lot of power. There's really no need for that clutch. So I'm going back to the stock one that he had included when he sold the vehicle. The clutch, the stock one, is pretty much brand new. So I'm going to use that. Today, that's what I'm going to be working on. I'm going to be putting on the new flywheel, the new clutch, putting the transmission back on there, putting everything back together. I had also taken off the intake manifold, did some cleaning. I'm going to put some new injectors on there, put new intake manifold gasket, new throttle body gasket. I had a leak in the throttle body gasket, so I opted out to replace that. All right, guys, I'll see you guys in a little bit. We're working on that. What's up, guys? So I'm at the shop now. I got all the parts laid out over here for the vehicle. I'm gonna try and put it all back together today. I don't know if that's gonna be possible, but here it is. This is the flywheel that I'm gonna be going with. It's a JB Racing one. It looks to be a very good quality, very nicely built. Now, while I have all that apart, I'm also going to replace the rear main seal, which is a very good idea to replace anytime they have the transmission out of the vehicle. New pilot bearing, new bolts for the flywheel right here, new stock clutch, disc, and pressure plate by Sex. So, yep, there's the E30. Where she sits right now, I have the intake manifold off. I was trying to give it a good scrub before putting it all back together because this thing is like full of oil, but it's an old car. Got some oil leaks. I wish I could have gotten all clean, but I may drop the engine at some other time. Probably later in the year, get it rebuilt, maybe do some performance modifications on there so we can get some more pep out of this thing. So that's where she sits right now. Let me raise the vehicle up for you so you can guys check out what's going on underneath it. So there it is. Looks like I have to take this out right here to get to the back gasket right there for the rear main seal, and then I have to replace this. So I have to unbolt that. I should have replaced the oil pan while I was at it, but I don't have it at the moment. So, I'll tackle that at a different time. That's gonna be it. Oh, and that's the dowel for the flywheel. So it's center and it's set or sort of position. Alright, that's what we're gonna be working on. Okay, so I finished installing the rear main seal. That's that. I had to put a bit of sealant on the bottom part as the old gasket for the oil pan was pretty much missing. I'm sure it's still gonna need some oil, but once I get the oil pan gasket on there, I'll clean it off and should be straight. Shouldn't leak anymore. So right now, we're gonna go ahead and install the flywheel. See how that goes. Alrighty, we are back over here. Got the flywheel installed. Put the torque plate on there. I just gotta wipe the friction surface down with some, I don't know, probably some sort of cleaning material over here on this one. And then install the clutch disc, pressure plate on there, and put the transmission back in there. Should be fun. Put the transmission back in the car, put the drive shaft back on there, got it all buttoned up at the bottom. Now all that's left is here at the top. You gotta put the intake manifold back on. I don't know if I'm gonna have it all done today, but I'm definitely not driving the car today. One of the reasons why is because, well, first of all, I don't have the time, and second, I want to replace some of these coolant hoses. I am pretty sure they are the original ones, 30 years old. Last thing I want is to be driving around and one of these suckers go while I'm out and about, far away from home. That's where we're at right now. I'll try to put it back together, try to start it up just to see how it runs, but it is not leaving today, for sure. Alrighty. So, harness. I've got my fuel rail right here. Rebuilt plate injectors that I'm going to be using with new O-rings, basically new seals. These have the, these are different. It's got the 4 little holes for the different spray pattern on there, as opposed to the one on the stock injectors. So you should see some sort of upgrade in this. Let me get my intake manifold. Okay, we got the intake manifold right here. Now we just got to put this thing back under. There we go. That's it. Yep. That's it. Alright.
silicone free for the O-ring so they don't roll up when being installed. Old gaskets. Old damn. Make a lot of noise, but I have no other way of doing this other than with a wire wheel, and even then it might not even come off. So let's try it. Much better. For sure. I think I'm gonna call it quits for the day. I think I have a half hour left over here at the shop before they close.
That was basically it for today with the E30. But for now, my main focus is going to be getting those coolant hoses, which is the radiator hoses and some of the heater core hoses that go along to replace them. You know, right now that I have the intake manifold off and I have the clearance to work on all of that, I'm going to just go ahead and just do it once, replace all that, so that, you know, once it's all back together, I don't have to dig in there again. I also have a Z3 steering rack that I'm going to be installing. You know, like I said, hope you guys like the video. We're going to be filming more. That's pretty much it for today. Hit like, subscribe so you can get updates, notifications for new videos coming out. Also check out our Instagram page at Daily Driven. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you very much.